Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some MTG Arena pack opening. We're doing a pre-recorded one this time. And I wanted to do something a little bit different this time. I wanted to experiment with the open all pack, the open all button. I don't know exactly how it's going to format everything, but I feel like it would streamline things. Because any duplicates I might get might be like, it's a duplicate, you don't have to like, or rather it would just be like 2x of this or 3x of this or for duplicates. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Some of you probably already know, but we're gonna hop right into open all. So how does it handle? Okay, so far I'm not seeing any duplicates. Okay. So, being that they've got the mystery ones over on the left still, we're still going to work our way toward the left, but being that it's both on the top and the bottom, we're kind of just probably going to do the zigzag. So we'll start at the top, and then the bottom, and then up the top, and then the bottom again. And just zigzag our way across. That seems like the most efficient way to do it. So, first we have Demand Answers, which is a 2-drop instant. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. Draw 2 cards. Okay. It's an interesting give and take dynamic, but overall pretty standard card. Unscrupulous Agent, a 2-drop creature, elf detective. When Unscrupulous Agent enters the battlefield, target opponent exiles a card from their hand. That could be pretty useful. And it is a 1/1. Up here we have Seasoned Consultant, which is a 2-drop human detective creature. So we got quite a bit of detectives. I mean, it is the murder of Markov. I can't remember, but it's like a murder mystery set, so it makes sense. Anyways, whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, Seasoned Consultant gets +2/+0 until end of turn, and it is a 1/3. And there is a second Unscrupulous Agent, so it just puts them in there in the mix. So it doesn't do anything helpful with the duplicates, unfortunately. But that's fine. Moving on, we have Out Cold, which is a 4-drop instant. This spell can't be countered. This includes by the ward ability. Tap up to 2 target creatures and put a stun counter on each of them. Investigate. Okay, stun counter. If a permanent with a stun counter would become untapped, remove 1 from it instead. Okay. So it's almost like the ability some cards have. It's like during your next untap state, don't untap one of your creature kind of effects. But this one can stack, so you can do it for multiple turns, which is interesting. But yeah, investigate. Create a colorless clue artifact token with 2 mana to sacrifice this card and draw a card. Okay. Okay. So far I'm liking this expansion set, whatever you want to call it. Basilica Stalker is a 6-drop creature vampire detective. Flying. Whenever Basilica Stalker deals combat damage to a player, you gain 1 life and surveil 1. And it has a disguise with a cost of 5. Okay, Surveil is look at the top card of your... Sorry. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. Okay, interesting. And Disguise, you may cast this card face down for 3 mana as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2. Turn it face up at any time for its Disguise cost. Okay, so it's basically a morph, but with Ward 2. That's fine. That's fine. Not one that I would have disguised, but I mean the Ward 2 is nice, but I think having a 3/4 flying and basically lifelink, just it has to be to a player. And it's a 3/4. Okay. I think it's an interesting card. Alright. Rubble Belt Braggart is a 5-drop creature Vashino Warrior. Or Viashino Warrior. When Rubble Belt Braggart attacks, if it is not suspected, you may suspect it. And it's a 5/5. Suspect a creature. A suspected creature has menace and can't block. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. We're going to move on to, one of my favorite ones. I know what this is. Shock. It's a 1-drop instant that Shock deals 2 damage to any target. Love it. Have full playset of it. I abuse it. Alright. Goblin Mask Maker is a 1-drop creature Goblin Citizen. Whenever Goblin Mask Maker attacks, face down spells you cast this turn cost 1 less to cast. And it's a 1/2. In order for that to be an ability, face down, like the disguise ability, must be very prevalent. Okay. We got a common wild card. We got a second unscrupulous agent. We got Museum Night Watch, which is a 4-drop creature Centaur Soldier. When Museum Night Watch dies, create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. With disguise costing 1 of any and 1 white. And then of course the detective token is just a 2/2 blue white token. Okay. That one's 3/2, that one's 2/2. But yeah. On the Job is a 4-drop instant. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. Investigate. Right. Moving on to Inside Source, which is a 3-drop creature human citizen. When Inside Source enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. Okay. And then for 3 of any mana and a tap, target detective you control gets +2/+0 and gains vigilance until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. And this is a 1/1. Pick Your Poison is a 1-drop sorcery, where you choose either each opponent sacrifices an artifact, or each opponent sacrifices an enchantment, or each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. So that's versatile, unless the only thing that your opponent has out is creatures that don't have flying. Oh well. Moving on to... I've messed up. Okay. Okay. With Scour the Scene is a 2-drop enchantment. When Scour the Scene enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. That's becoming a very common thing. Once again, I get it. Thematically, I get it. Anyways, whenever you sacrifice an artifact, choose a creature card in your hand or a creature you control. It perpetually gets +1/+0. Not bad. And we've got Due Diligence, which is a 3-drop enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When Due Diligence enters the battlefield, target creature you control other than enchanted creatures. Okay, hold on. Let me go back over this. When Due Diligence enters the battlefield, target creature you control other than enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and gains vigilance until end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has vigilance. Okay, so if this is the first enchantment that you put on a creature, it's fairly useful. It gets the +2/+2 and gains vigilance until ends of turn. But I personally would recommend, and I think you should see that the best way to use this enchantment is to have it be the second enchantment put onto a creature, because already enchanted creatures get the +2/+2 in vigilance. Period. It's like not just for one turn. Perpetually. It doesn't say perpetually, but it just like it gives you the bonus, and it doesn't say until end of turn. So it's just there for as long as you have the enchantment. Perpetually would be even if your enchantment gets ripped away from your creature, it would still be there. Where, so not perpetually, but essentially perpetually. As long as you're enchanted, it gets it, versus until the end of turn. So, moral of the story is, do not have this be the first enchantment you put on a creature. Make sure that a creature already has an enchantment on it before putting on this. Otherwise, you kind of just got a one-hit wonder. That if you can't make of use that turn, you kind of just wasted it. Anyways, it's babbled on long enough about that one. Shove Aside is a 1-drop sorcery. If you aren't the starting player, you may cast Shove Aside as though it had Flash. Ooh. So in other words, it would be like an instant instead. Shove Aside deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to take a picture of it. Save it for another time. Because I might want to put that in deck. It's kind of sad that it's only creature or planeswalker. I do really like the cards that do like to any target, but I'll take what I can get when it comes to burn deck. A uncommon wild card. We got Woodland Investigation, which is a 1-drop sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. It perpetually becomes a clue artifact in addition to its other types, and gains 2 cost to sacrifice this permanent and draw a card. Alright. Not bad. Ooh, we've got a what would normally be a saga, but in this set is going to be a case. So it's an enchantment case called Case of the Market Melee. It's a 2-drop. When this case enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. I like that. Damage isn't removed from creatures during cleanup steps. Ooh. So permanent damage. To solve, 3 or more creatures are damaged. Solved whenever you attack with one or more creatures, this case deals that much damage divided as you choose among any number of targets. Okay. Not quite sure how you go about it. I mean, it might be pretty straightforward and I'm just missing it, but so far I like it. Alright, I like it. It deals damage. It's a good card in my book. Not quite sure how to implement it properly. And that might just be my own ignorance on what a case does. Right. So we would usually move to this one, but we're just going to do this and then we'll just do the 3. So, Concert Kaboomist is a 3-drop creature goblin artificer with trample. When Concert Kaboomist enters the battlefield, it is turned face up. It has a disguise thing. Okay. When it enters the battlefield, or it is turned face up. It deals X damage to target opponent, where X is the number of non-creature spells you've cast since the beginning of your last turn. Has a disguise cost of 1 red, and it is a 4/2. That is it. That is definitely an interesting one. That one I will make a note of. Alright, now let's reveal the fancy cards. I think, okay, I didn't realize that they had different auras. Like these are going to be like the lessers, and that's going to be like the big one. So we'll do this one, then that one. Okay, first we have Ominous Lockbox, which is a 2-drop artifact clue. As Ominous Lockbox enters the battlefield, secretly choose a number between 1 and 20. When an opponent casts a spell with a mana value equal to the chosen number, sacrifice Ominous Lockbox. If you do, copy that spell and you may choose new targets for that copy. Interesting. And it has pay 2 of any mana, sacrifice Ominous Lockbox, and draw a card. Okay. Not sure why you would... Okay. I mean, there's always the utility in paying some mana, sacrificing a card, and drawing a card. Just in case, like, a strategy with a card's not going to work out. But I don't think this card deserves having to have that secondary ability. I think it's a useful card. Like, yeah, it could be all for naught, and they may not have a single card that has the mana value of the number that you picked. So I can kind of see why they would do that, but I don't know. As long as you pick like a number between 1 and like 6, they should have one that's like that, but oh well. Especially if you know some of the things that are in your opponent's deck. Like if you're playing your friend that has used this deck before and you're like, I know that they have this creature and it's this mana cost, you can pick that number and be like, if he plays it, haha, you know, got him. But it's whatever. Alright, doing this one, we've got Sprout Watch Dryad, which is a 3-drop creature dryad. At the beginning of each combat, Sprout Watch Dryad gains flying until end of turn. If a creature you control or a card in your hand has flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. And it is a 3/3. So basically, at the beginning of each combat, it gains literally whatever one of the base abilities, the most common ones. Whichever you have in your hand. Like if you could literally have like a stacked hand. You could literally make this card that stacked each combat because you're keeping them in your hand. That's quite the trade-off there. So I don't know. Especially if it has indestructible, it's like why bother with even playing any of the cards? Because like you could just and, you know. Anyways, last card. Juggle the Performance. It is a 3-drop sorcery. Each player discards their hand, then conjures a duplicate of each of 7 random cards from their library of the player to their right into their hand. The duplicates perpetually gain mana of any type can be spent to cast this spell. What? That's dangerous. That, well, it can be very dangerous, depending on what your opponent's hands are. But that's very interesting. Yeah, that is... wow. Okay. And the fact that, like, okay, you're all playing different colored decks, like, that doesn't even matter. Mana of any type can be spent to cast this spell. Is put on all of your duplicates. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's nuts. Continue. Alright. So, I was going to do both Wham Bam, but being that I'm pre-recording this one, I feel like it'd be a longer pre-recorded video, a very long pre-recorded video if I did the same thing with 4 packs. So, we're just going to settle with just doing the Alchemy set packs of it, and that's gonna be it. So, next one we're gonna just do the regular Murders at Karlov Manor. And yeah, I'll probably do another pre-recorded one just like this, so it is a pairing, a set together in tandem, however you want to call it. But that's gonna do it for this one. So if you like this one, please leave a like, and if you're new and haven't done so already, please subscribe. Also consider joining the channel membership for $1 a month. You get a shout out as soon as I am available to do so. Once you do join, there are links down in the description below. Some of them are Twitch links to my friends' Twitch channels. Those are definitely worth checking out, as well as my social media is also linked down below. And there should be a video and a playlist on screen for you guys to continue your video watching journey here on the channel. And with all that said, I will see you guys in the next one.